What's up, Gruntworks Nation? What's up, VTT? It's the Big Earl here, CEO, founder of VeteranTrashTalk. We're going to talk about financial advising because I don't know anything about that, and neither do most of you. However, some of you have money, and are you doing the right thing? We're going to bring on Army veteran Ken Hewitt, a financial advisor with Series 7, lightsaber stuff. I don't know, but he's skilled, he's qualified, and he's going to tell you what you should do with your money. So make sure you click on the interested or going on the events tab on either the Gruntworks page or Veteran Trash Talk page. Enjoy the show. Two-thirds of Americans are at risk to experience blackout. You could be one of them, sitting in the dark and cold for hours, for days, maybe even weeks. Are you ready to protect your family? You could be with Patriot Power Solar Generator 2000X. Folks say this new solar generator from 4 Patriots is worth its weight in gold. Why? Because this generator has double the capacity and is expandable so you can run the big appliances like your fridge even longer. Or other devices like an electric blanket, microwave, RV air conditioner, or even an electric wheelchair. You also get 12 outlets, including 4 AC outlets, so you can power more devices at once, and 2 USB-C outlets, which can charge your phone 20 times faster than a regular plug. Best of all, this new solar generator is fume-free, safe to use inside, and never needs gas, ever. Over 150,000 Americans trust Patriot Power generators. Go to 4patriots.com/VTTGW to get your solar generator now. You'll even get a solar panel included free.
Hey, what is up, Mental Health Nation? Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, Chris, can you throw up the QR code up for Reads Across America and 4 Patriots? Sorry, we've been making some changes. There we go. He got it up there. But anyway, I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. The weather here in Italy, it's been kind of rainy off and on, but it's been really warm. So we're kind of cooling down next couple of days. So that's pretty great and awesome. We've been running in the mid 80s, but now we're back down to 60s and 70s, kind of normal, I think, for around here. But hey, it's great. Spring, loving it. Hey, if you've been catching my mental health minutes this week, I've been talking about happiness and how you define happiness. And so, we're going to kind of continue that talk tonight because I think it's kind of important. Before I jump into all of that, hey, listen, this Saturday, if you got some extra money or you need some financial planning, be sure to, tune into the show on Saturday. That's great information. It's always good to diversify, and it's always good to get educated on things because you never know what's going to happen. It's always good to plan for the future. So, hey, just take that moment, tune into the show. And, the show's a month away. Sorry. I was all excited about the financial show, and it's not going to happen for another month. So anyway, tune in for that. They'll let you know when that show's going to happen. I'm going to have to tune into it and watch it because it's just so important. It's tough when you get a little bit of money, don't know what to do with it, just to kind of figure out what to go with it. But hey, just tune in to VTT. They'll let you know when that's going to happen. But hey, 14 May, Big Earl says. So there you go. Put that date down on the calendar, 14 May. Very important date. And so be sure to tune in for that. Hey, Brian, thanks for tuning in. Hey, listen up. Right there, the QR code that I asked Chris to put up for Reads Across America Radio. Reads Across America, for the wreaths that they put on the, the tomb to the soldiers during Christmas. It's a great program. I'm very happy to be part of them because, every Friday at 8 p.m. and Sundays at 10 p.m., Reads Across America Radio, see right there, replays my podcast. Fridays 8 p.m. and Sundays at 10 p.m. Super easy to find. Just download your iHeartRadio app, your TuneIn app, your Odyssey app. Search for Reads Across America Radio, and you'll see my great program, of course, with all the great programming they have on there. And not to mention the great podcast program, they play a lot of great music on there. And, along with the podcast. So it's just good all around radio station. I'm super happy to be part of that. But along with it, you got the 4 Patriots. You saw the video up there. It's springtime. We're having a lot of crazy weather out there in the United States. I've been reading about. It's always good to have a generator. Always good to be prepared. So check it out. They got the rolling screen down at the bottom. So be sure and use that code. Save yourself some money. The financial planner would like that. If you're going to save yourself some money, use that code. Just like using coupons at the grocery store. But hey, I got to say this. The Mental Health Warrior book is still out there. Sales are going pretty good. If you want to get your copy, I'm still selling signed copies. You just go through my website, cliffordbauman.com. From there, you can you can buy the book. You can write down specifically if you want, what you'd like for it to say if you're buying it for somebody else. I'll sign the book and get it into the mail to you. Just know that it'll just take a little bit longer because it's coming from here. But the shipping costs didn't increase any. They're still the same because obviously I have a FPO address here. So it's all great and good. And thanks, Brian. I'm glad you enjoyed the book. You put a lot of heart and soul in writing the book. And it's kind of nerve-wracking, because you never know how people would take it, right? Dr. K is a good friend of mine, and we spent about a year researching and writing the book. It's not an easy thing to do, and I didn't understand the process. And thank God that Dr. K, he's a forensic, psychologist and very, very smart, intelligent guy. And he did a really good job in the research he did on the book. So be sure to go out there and get your copy of the Mental Health for you. I did discount it on my website, so it's a little bit cheaper than what it is at Amazon or Barnes & Noble and stuff. So, hey, grab your copy and I'll get it signed and get sent out to you. Why not? Hey, it's a good investment, I think. But hey, thanks for tuning in. If you've been watching my Mental Health Minutes this week, I have been talking about happiness, and it's something that I just felt that I need to talk about. Not because I was in a good mood or anything any different. I'm 98% of the time always in a good mood. That's just how I am. But it's just important. I got my dumpster fire T-shirt on today. It's kind of getting worn out. I've had it about 3 years, and I wear it a lot. Go wear it to the gym a lot and stuff. And I'm gonna have to order me a new one. It's starting to get holes in the bottom of it. But hey, they're great quality T-shirts. And if you're looking for some great T-shirts, you can sure go out to VTT.com and look at the T-shirts. Don't be a triggered pansy is one of our best T-shirts we have out there. I always get a lot of laughs when I wear it to the gym. Almost got kicked out once, but after I kind of explained it to the lady what it meant and the fact that she was triggered by it and she shouldn't have been, she never said anything to me since then. But I just think that's kind of funny. Really gonna tell me I can't come to the gym because my shirt's offensive? You got bigger problems than that. But hey, that's the kind of response you get from that shirt, and it's kind of funny, and it kind of made me happy. I kind of laughed about it. But I hope everybody's having a great week. Hope everything's going okay. Update here in Italy. Like I said, the weather's been hot. It has kind of started rain for the next couple of days. So it's going to be rain off and on. It's kind of cooled off now, so that's kind of good. Because, we live here on the government housing. They haven't turned the AC on yet. So when it gets up to 86 or so, it gets kind of hot in these apartments. But everything's marble, so it's not too bad. It's kind of easy to take. If you guys saw my post, Lloyd had his first baseball game on Saturday. Now, for you guys who are following and the guys out there on the Reach Across America Radio is listening to this, Lloyd is my 9-year-old son. He's never played baseball before. He's never even worn a glove. And I hadn't played baseball since I was in Little League. And so, of course, you guys all know that Big Earl used to play baseball. And so I said, hey, Lloyd wants to play baseball. I haven't played in a long time. And so he gave me some tips on breaking in his glove and other stuff. And Lloyd, I will tell you, has a lot of natural abilities in a lot of different sports. But the biggest thing Lloyd is he's not afraid of the ball. And so he's done quite well catching the ball and throwing it, which I'm kind of proud about. For somebody that's never played, he's the dad's watching, thought he's been playing for years. Of course, he hasn't. And they're kind of shocked when I tell him he hasn't. So he had his first game on Saturday. And this made me very happy. And of course, these kids are all they're just 9 and 10-year-olds. So it's just for fun, really. I mean, there's no point in yelling at your kid or getting mad or whatever. But so Lloyd gets up there to bat. And I posted the videos. He actually hit the ball farther the first time, but I didn't take a very good video of that one. But so he get up there and yeah, he did knock the crap out of the ball. and you can hear the ting on the bat. Ting! The boy takes off running. Yeah, I think he hit a double the first time, and then the second time he hit another double. But one of the kids on the other team got hit by the baseball bat. Sorry, got hit by the baseball. And so the kid's standing in the batter's box. Lloyd's team's pitching. The pitcher throws a fastball, and this kid has been playing ball for quite a while, and so he's actually a pretty good pitcher. And that kid didn't move, and that ball hit that kid right in the face, and it was like immediately swelled up. And so when they're coming back around the bat again, I came back around, went to the dugout, and I said, "Hey Lloyd," I said, if that ball starts, if that ball comes in, you need to dodge it, you need to duck it." And he looked at me, and says, "What does duck it mean?" He thought I was telling him a baseball term. I said, "Hey, just like dodgeball, if that ball's coming through you, duck, get out of the way. Don't stand there and take it." And I just thought that was kind of funny. But he actually fielded the ball very well when they hit it to the ground to him. He's still a little bit confused on, the nuances of baseball because he hasn't played. But they only had 2 practices before the game. They wind up winning, I think it was 12-2. And I was a little worried when the game started because the other team looked really well. But I noticed Lloyd's team, the kids hit the ball very well, the kids on the team. So I think that's a pretty good advantage. And we got some pretty good players to include Lloyd. So super proud about that. He was super happy. He was very stoked about playing. I think that's so important, right? I think for kids at his age to try as many different sports as they can to kind of find out what they like. I don't scald him if he misses a ball. I don't yell at him because to me, it's all about fun. It's all about figuring it out. When he gets older, if he wants to continue baseball, then coaches can tell him how to play. I've been out of it way too long, and I only played baseball in Little League. So Dad's knowledge is about as much as his is. So, it's all good. But the good thing is that he had fun. It was a good Saturday afternoon there at Kearney Park there. Kearney Park is actually inside of a extinct volcano, so that's kind of cool. He played baseball in an extinct volcano, so that's kind of a neat thing. But it's just a lot of fun. It was just a happy time for us to go down there and experience that. I haven't been to Kearney Park since I've been here. It's about 25 kilometers from the house, not too far to drive, depending upon traffic, Italian drivers. So, but it's just it was a lot of fun. He enjoyed it. I'm very proud of him. He's got another game Saturday, but I think it's probably going to get rained out because we're calling for like 90% chance of rain here. So, so he probably won't have a game. But hey, enough of that. So, with my mental health minutes, you guys know that I come up with a theme, every week, and I want to talk about that. And a quick note, Lynn started a job. She's been real busy with her work. So she may or may not, pop on or not. She's just been traveling a lot. And so I tell her if she's able to get on, great. If she can't, that's okay too. We kind of understand how that is. That's just life. So if she jumps on, great. If she doesn't, that's great. Just know that she's doing okay. And she's still, working the Reverend Warrior and all that other great stuff that she does. So, but this week, I've been talking about happiness, and all my postings on social media has been about that. And I just thought this was important to talk about because I think sometimes people think about happiness as, laughing or joking around or being in a good mood but I think happiness is a little bit deeper than that. And I'm going to kind of get into that, because especially if you're having, PTSD issues or, mental health issues or some other things. Sometimes I think we gauge our happiness and bounce it off other people, right? And we may think, oh, well, we're not as happy as they are, or they're somewhere different than we are, or we're always comparing each other to other people. And I always say, don't do that because everybody's life is different. Everybody defines what makes them happiness differently, and so it makes it tough. So. I was reading what somebody put on the comments, and I don't have my glasses on. I didn't bring them in with me. So, yep. Thanks for sharing that. That's pretty awesome. My older brother's wife, you guys do know she has terminal breast cancer. and she struggles every day, and she's been doing pretty good lately. So that's a tough one, but just to have the happiness of being able to go back to work, it's good, right? And that's kind of what I'm going to talk about is it's how you define your happiness. And I think for a lot of us, it gets kind of confusing when you start comparing to others. But also, I think it has a lot to do with just being content in your life, right? Um, you know, you can be happy, you can feel good. Doesn't mean you have to laugh all the time. Doesn't mean you have to smile all the time. Doesn't mean any of that. It just means that you need to be satisfied or content with the way that your life is now. That was my mental health minute today. I just finished working at the gym and was sitting outside there and really talked about um, you know where you're at in your life, and if it's where you want to be or where you think you should be, then you should be happy about that. um, my life is completely different now than what it was a year ago, because a year ago I was in Virginia. Now I'm living in Naples, Italy. So that's a big change to have happen. But I talked about it today. Is that I think for me, um, leaving Virginia and coming out here to Italy has really had a profound effect on my life in a positive way. Not that it hasn't not been easy, because it's always tough to come live in a foreign country. And I'm not one to sit around and do nothing. So I feel like an idiot. But I get joy out of going to the grocery store and stuff. And, I wander around with my phone with Google Translate to see what, stuff is and what it is when I first got out here, because I don't speak the language. Now, if I was in Germany, it'd be a little bit different because I understand a lot of German. I knew zero Italian. And, but I still made myself go to the store and stuff because I wasn't going to be miserable. We chose to come here and do this. And so I wanted to make it to happy because I just feel happy here. It's just weird. And so that's really what I was thinking about this week. That's how I came up with the happiness theme is, looking at yourself and what's going on and being content with it and happy with it. I mean, there's always going to be somebody out there that has more stuff than you. There's always going to be somebody out there that has more money. There's always going to be somebody out there that has more than you do. And for me, I never really care about stuff. It's yeah, that's true. Jeremy, thanks for tuning in. It's I think that's important because if yes, you have to live now. That's so important because tomorrow's never guaranteed. Today's a present, and you always got to be happy about that. So I think it's important for your mental being, especially if you're not in a good place or something. So if you're coming out of recovery, this is what I'm going to get at. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. If you're coming out of recovery, and depending upon what went on with you, right? Whether you were a drug addict, whether you had other mental health issues, maybe you had other things going on, maybe you had PTSD like I did, and you're a suicide survivor, or whatever went on. And now you're starting to come out of that fog and starting to go into your recovery. And when you're doing that, sometimes it becomes very stressful when you look at other people and maybe they're farther ahead in their recovery, maybe they never had any issues. And you may feel good about yourself because maybe for the first time you woke up and enjoyed the sunlight, or maybe you had one less drink at night or no drinks at night, or maybe you just gave yourself that little bit of a win and it made you feel good about yourself. But then now you're seeing other people who maybe are a little bit farther along or didn't have the same problems, and they just seem more happier, and then you don't feel as happy anymore. And I kind of get that because I don't know if I'm getting this point across right or not, but I think for me, when I was going through my recovery, when I was going, recovering from my suicide attempt and all that stuff, is I had a hard time comparing things. I would look back in the past. I would have some, I would have some wins, and then somebody else would get promoted or get that job that they wanted or something else, and I was still standing here at this line. And sometimes that would make me depressed and not happy, or it would take my happiness away. And I had to learn not to allow it to do that. And that's kind of hard to do. And that's really what I was trying to talk about this week and talk about happiness is, happiness is helping others. Happiness is, helping yourself. Happiness is, helping your kids. It's happiness is whatever makes you feel better about yourself, makes you feel better about the present, makes you feel good about the future, makes you want to look forward to tomorrow. And so that's what I've been trying to convey this week because I think, it's coming on spring. Sometimes, I talk about this a lot, um, springtime can be a very rough time for a lot of people because, if you're depressed, suicide rates always go up in the spring. And I never quite figured that out until I really took a hard look into it. And for me, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that you've been kind of in this dark place and now things are changing, but they're not changing like they are in the wintertime, right? When you go in the wintertime, it's the fall, colors change, and then everything becomes dark. Well, in the spring, it's the opposite. Everything becomes new again. It's bright, it's colorful. And I think for somebody that's been in that position, you don't want to see that and you don't want to deal with that because if you're still stuck in that one area, that becomes less stressful. Maybe I'm sure there's science behind it, but I think that it's important to think about that and just to know and just to be happy with yourself within yourself and within people around you. And it's always good to have a good, positive group of friends around you. I over a year ago went to yoga and discovered yoga and learned a new way to look at things. Really got into the holistic medicine and stuff, and it's really made a big change in my life. And I'm 54 this year. I turned 55 in January. I work out all the time. I run. I take no medications anymore, and I caveat to that is I worked with my doctor to get off the medications and I switched to whole, holistic medicine. I bought encyclopedias and books and educated myself and I feel a whole lot better for that. Now, there's some people that can't do that. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying that it just a good effect it had on my life. And the strangest thing I ever did, and I say this because it was just posted, is made me think about it. Is one thing I started doing was grounding. If you haven't looked into grounding, think about this for a second. Grounding is reconnecting with the earth because once your body, your bare feet touches the earth, you gain electrons and other things from the earth because it's our bodies are electricity, right? Energy gets low, energy low gets level, gets low, it causes a bunch of things. I'm not going to go to a bunch of that. This is the point of this is if you ever remember when you go on vacation and you're at the beach and you're barefooted, you're in the water, you feel better, you feel rested, you feel relaxed. It's because you're grounding. It's because you're not wearing your shoes no more. It's because you're touching the earth. And just Google that because I think I ground every day. I sleep on the mattresses that allow my body, that allows myself to ground. Look into grounding, Google it. I think it's something very easy you can do that could have a change in your life. But back to the happiness thing. So as I was going through recovery and as I was moving on with my military career, and that wasn't easy back then, having mental health issues and suicide attempt back, when they just put you on medical orders and kicked you out. And so I had a lot of good days and bad days, and I didn't deal with it particularly well. And it took me a long time to learn how to be happy again. I talked about, the dark days of January and how I haven't really celebrated or had a birthday party in 30 years. So that's true. So I had to relearn that and I had to rethink about that. And that hasn't been easy. And so for me, in order for me to be happy and the things that I did is I had to make changes in my life that contributed to me being happy. And some of those, wasn't easy choices to make because some of it involved in not being friends with people no more, or not. Hey, well, happy birthday there. Getting close to 40. All right. I don't remember 40. It's sometime back then, but age is only a number, right? I feel like I'm 25, so that makes me happy. It is funny to go to the gym and see that you're more cut than most of the people in there. So that's, yeah, whatever. My goal was to be ripped in my 50s, and that's what I've been working on. So that makes me happy. Shit your face. So people who are listening on Reads Across America Radio on Friday, we have a chat message on Facebook, and we run the show live on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and stuff. And so people comment on it. And so that's what I'm referring to as I go through the podcast, is people making statements, and I'm replying back to them. It makes it kind of fun and funny. So if you're going to go back, you can go back to the Facebook, cliffordbobbin.com or VTT, and you can relook at it, read the comments, and you can understand what we're talking about. But I had to, relook at what made me feel better about myself and what made me feel good, because that led into my happiness. And, whether it was spiritual or physical, mental, I had to find and relearn those things that gave me joy in life, because drinking, I thought, gave me joy, but in reality, it didn't. Um, Sometimes friends can be your own worst enemies. So you had to look at, is your friend supportive? Is your friend, every time you're in a good mood, do they always bring you down? Or, are they supporting you, and are you supporting them? And is it kind of mutual? Because I lost some friends over the years because it was like that. Sometimes they have demons they don't want to deal with, and you're coming out of your recovery and you're in a good mood and you're a little bit more happy, and they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to, talk about it or anything. So that's kind of tough to, give, especially if it's a long-term friendship, but you have to do it for yourself. You have to make those tough choices. You have to learn to be happy, because life's too short not to be. I mean, it's really, hey, RC planes are fun. It has to be something that you find enjoyable, and right, and you notice the post, people kind of laughing and joking and talk about birthdays and things like that. And that's what I'm talking about. It's like tonight, people listening in, and hope you're having a fun time. The chat's really busy, and I'm happy to see that, because that's what makes it fun for all of us, right? That's the whole reason VTT started. That's the whole reason why I do the Mental Health Warriors, because I don't want somebody to be miserable in their life. I don't want somebody to not be happy, not to enjoy it. I believe I survived my suicide attempt for a reason, and I've been on this journey for a long time. And I'll be honest with you, there's times that I'm tired of talking about it, or tired of doing the podcast, or because it's late here in Italy. I don't give a time for the podcast anymore, and I apologize for that. But there's just some days that I'm just tired and I need to start it earlier, because I just my mind gets tired. And but you can listen to a podcast anytime. That makes it nice, and you can listen on Reads Across America Radio. But it just wears on me after a while. And about 2 weeks ago, I really thought I was just going to quit it all. And I think I talked about it a little bit. I was going to throw the towel in and not do it no more, and just completely leave everything. I mean, I was going to go completely off all my social media, everything, because I just hit a wall. And then I thought about it, and I said, no, it's just a bad day, right? You all have bad days. And I shook it off, because this brings me joy. This brings me happiness. I enjoy helping other people. I hope people listening enjoy the podcast and they get something out of it, because I'm pretty honest about with what I talk about. And it's just like good days, bad days, and sometimes the negativity will slip in. And what are you going to choose to do with it? Are you going to be disciplined and stay motivated and keep moving forward, or are you just going to say, I'm just going to give up, throw the towel in, and not do it anymore? And obviously, I didn't do that. But one thing about Italy is I made a friend. His name's Pepe, and we made a couple of videos. And he's Italian, speaks okay English. I speak English, and horrible at Italian, but I'm slowly learning. But he's a good dude and he's fun to hang out with. And so if you don't, it's always good to make new friends, right? You never know who you're going to run into or see or whatever. But I'm laughing because I'm getting ready to show you guys something. But so Pepe works at a restaurant that I go and eat at, Kenja. I post about it. The other day we went in and ate. He challenged Lloyd to a ping pong table match. I made a little video of it. That was kind of funny because only at Italy have I ever seen an impromptu ping pong match kick off during dinner, and that was kind of funny. But I had to get a drink of water. So in there's a beer made by Forrest that's called Sextus, and I love this beer. It's like a Smittix. It's a red beer. It's a dark beer, but this Forrest is like one of the very few beers that are made in Italy, because Italy's all about wine and olive oil and blah blah blah. But this is a brewery here. It's been around for a long time, since like 1857, and they make beer, and it's very good beer. And I looked in the grocery store. I looked at Dodeca. We go to Monopoly. I looked down there at the grocery store. I could not find this beer anywhere. So finally I asked Pepe, where the hell is this beer at? I can't find it. I want to buy some and drink it at home. And he says, oh, you can only usually get it for the restaurants can get it. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that sucks. He says, but I'll get you a case and give it to you. Right? So the other day, delivered to me, and for you guys out there on the Reason Across America that can't see it, I'm showing a picture of the bottle of the beer right now. There's the Forrest and Sextus. So tonight, you see me grinning. I'm going to open this little boy up and have me a drink in here, because I've been waiting to do that for so long. It's kind of silly that, beer can bring you happiness, right? A drink can bring you happiness, just like the sunshine can, walking the grass can. I've never been to a Wahlburger, so I don't know how the hamburgers are or not. So, I've never been there. So I'm happy about that. So tonight after the show, I'm going to crack open my Forrest Sextus beer, and then I want to have one. Because every time I go into the restaurant, you saw me poachers, I get the big, I think it's a 1 liter mug of beer, and I drink it. But then I also, when I was at the store the other day, I found this beer. So I'm going to try it, not tonight, but I'll try another way. It's just a Dublin Irish Ale. And I was just curious if it was like Smitty. So I'll try that one night. Maybe next week I'll try it and give you guys a feedback on it and see. It's interesting here. I don't know if anybody listeners out there if you've been in the military, I'm sure you've either been in Italy or Germany or a different country. It's always very interesting to come live in a different country. And Brian says, why wait? Baby steps, man. You can't do it all at once. You got to just do a little bit at a time. But I always found it interesting to go out and learn about other cultures. Now, I'm going to caveat to that. My degree in school was in business and sociology. And thank God I was in the military, because I never would have made any money with my sociology degree. But I always enjoyed cultures and studied cultures. And so, the history here is amazing, right? I mean, you talk about Pompeii and you talk about, the volcano and all that stuff. And now I'm here living it. It's just the same as, going to Rome and all that other stuff. And a lot of the touristy stuff around here I haven't done, because I'm waiting for my brother to come in town or some friends. And then I'll start doing all the, the local stuff. We've been doing other things. I think in October, when my brother comes, one of the trips we're going to take is during Halloween, take a trip to Transylvania and kind of do the Halloween thing over there. And that'll be a lot of fun. And you guys see a lot of postings about that. But, I say all that because if you never challenge your mind, or if you don't try new things, you're just going to become stagnant, right? And it's going to affect your happiness. And so, you can always try to. That's true. Hey, it's hard. How they say, I love you in Italy is just making pasta. That's how they say it. Just make pasta. The pasta is very awesome here now. At the pizzas, because Naples is where pizza was made originally, discovered, if you will. And so they're very particular about the dough. They're very particular about how the pizza's cooked, and the pizzas are extremely good. And I eat pizza more here than I ever have in my life. But it's the pizzas here are amazing, and it's funny because they tell you if you eat pizza in Naples, the Camper Henry's that I'm in, if you go out of this region, the pizzas won't be so good. And so we went to Rome, which is an hour train ride on the fast train, north of here, and pizza sucked. It was terrible. Now the pasta was a little bit better, but the pizza was terrible. And you kind of wonder, well, how can pasta be better? It's just the way they cook it or different ingredients they use, But it's been pretty amazing. I've enjoyed it, and it's interesting with the different seasons, right? So there's always something growing here all the time, and the lemons are great, the oranges are great. They grow here all year round. This is the artichoke season. We just finished up the farfalle season, which is kind of like a broccoli leaf that's really big. They grow it everywhere. But once it starts getting warm, that goes away. So we're in the artichoke season now, which is pretty awesome. And then I'm sure there's a couple other seasons coming up. But it's interesting to see because here in Naples, it's kind of like the farm area, right? So there's just farms everywhere. And the other day, the apartment building that's outside the gate here, about every once a month or once every 5 weeks, a goat herder shows up, and that's how they mow the grass around the apartment building. He shows up with, I don't know, 50 sheep herder, about 50 sheep, and he'll be out there for 2 days, and they'll just be wandering around, eating all the grass, and then go away, and then he'll come back. Yeah, there's a lot of vineyards out here. Wine's amazing. Now, don't get me wrong, America has good wine. The wine out here is just different because of the soil, right? Same with the tomatoes. Tomatoes out here are amazing, but then again, it's volcanoes that erupt pretty often and had some pretty big ones. So the soil is very acidic, and so that's very good for lemons, very good for oranges, grapefruits, all that stuff's incredible here, and I just love it. So I really enjoy trying new things and being here. It's really kind of, it's funny is, it's, I guess because I'm so trying to learn a new language, I'm staying busy, time difference, all this stuff. A lot of my anxiety and other stuff that I had kind of in the States, because my mind was kind of getting stagnant, has kind of gone away. And so I need to kind of read about that, because I think really the more active you keep your mind, the less that you have issues with stupid shit coming into your head. Like, oh, I got a, pain in my elbow. That means, something bad's going on. Or like the other day, I strained my abdominal muscle when I was doing one of my exercises, and thought I did something bad to myself. But it tastes like vinegar and depression. That's funny. So an active mind keeps your mind from. Thanks for making me laugh. That was funny. Anyway, I want to wrap this up here real quick because I'm kind of losing my mind right now. But hey, listen, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. It was a fun show. I want to thank everybody with all the comments they made today. Happy past birthday and happy birthday to the ones with birthdays coming up. But the chat was really fun tonight, and I appreciate everybody tuning in. I appreciate everybody jumping on the chat. It makes it fun not only for me, but it makes it funny for the listeners, right? Because this is interactive, and I really appreciate that. And hey, if you ever think about wanting to be a guest on the show on the Mental Health Warrior, be sure to message me, or maybe we'll get you on the show sometime. And so they can just listen to me talk, and you come out and tell you a story, something. So if you'd like to come on the show, go ahead and message me, and we'll get you on the show sometime. But hey, remember, it is springtime. We got a lot of storms going on. It's always good to be prepared. So, go out to 4patriots.com, use the code VTTGW, save yourself a little bit of money. They got not just generators out there, they got the food supplies. It's always good to have prepared for 3 months. Even though I'm living here in Italy, I can order stuff through them, and I have, and I always keep things ready for 3 months, and I've always done that my whole life. I'm never going to change it. You got the QR code up there on the left-hand screen. You can scan that with your phone to donate for Wreaths Across America. It's a great program they have to ensure that the wreaths are, on the tombstone of the soldiers. My area is still Virginia, so it's Arlington Cemetery. It's just $5. Just make a quick donation there to ensure it. My book's still available, Mental Health Warrior. You get that through my website or through Amplify, Barnes & Nobles, or whatever. But if you go through my website, I'll personally sign it and send it to you. Maybe get it from here from Italy. But hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate my audiences. I appreciate everybody out there. But look at your happiness. Find what makes you happy. Think about that. And really, just enjoy life. It's too short not to have a good time. It's too short not to enjoy it. And if you got a buddy or a friend out there that's acting a little bit different, we are brothers and sisters keepers. Reach out to them. See how they're doing. Make sure they're doing okay. Go out to VeteranTrashTalk.com. Give them the Don't Be a Triggered Pansy shirt. It'll make their whole day a whole lot better. It'll make them laugh and make them feel good. I'm going to sign off here so I can go enjoy my Four Sextus beer because I already know it's good. But hey, you guys have a great week. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to catch my mental health minutes both across all my social media. Be sure and watch the Saturday show on Veterans Trash Talk. It's going to be a great show, and mark your calendar for May 14th. I think it was set out there for the financial advisor to come out. So it's always good to be smart, and you don't have to have a lot of money to start saving now and to learn a better way to do things. But hey, you guys take care. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you later.
This is a food warning. The UN warns of an unprecedented global hunger crisis. In fact, it's predicted by 2030 that 800 million folks will struggle to feed their families, which means two dangerous things for you. Number one, higher prices at the grocery store. Number two, less food available. And when panic strikes, it will be chaos, making it even harder to get the food your family needs to survive. That's why it's vital, more than ever, to have a survival food stockpile. Introducing the deluxe 3-month survival food kit from 4 Patriots. It has 688 servings of meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, with delicious recipes like pancakes, mac and cheese, Aztec chili, and potato soup. They've even got spaghetti and lasagna. This isn't your typical survival food, and over 200,000 smart Americans agree. This is survival food that actually tastes good. But best of all, it's designed to last up to 25 years. You can stash it away and be confident that when a disaster strikes, you and your family will be ready. Go to 4patriots.com/VTT to get the deluxe 3-month survival food kit